Welcome to the Hunger Action Heroes podcast. Hunger Action Heroes is a production of the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent. The Food Bank of the Golden Crescent was established in 1986 as the Community Food Bank in Victoria, Texas. Our mission is helping heal the hurt of hunger in our 11-county service area: Calhoun, Colorado, DeWitt, Goliad, Gonzales, Jackson, Lavaca, Matagorda, Refugio, Victoria, and Wharton. We passionately advocate for a hunger-free Texas. Your host, Chris Doelle, will bring you a message from our sponsor and get right into the episode. Stick around.
The Hunger Action Heroes podcast by the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent is made possible by the generous support of the HEB Hunger Relief Program. HEB Hunger Relief works year-round to fight hunger in Texas and Mexico. Hunger relief has been a key focus for HEB since the first store opened back in 1905. For more than a century now, HEB's commitment and involvement in the communities it serves has been an important part of the way the company does business. Since the inception of the Hunger Relief Program, HEB has donated over 1 billion pounds of food to help nourish neighbors in communities throughout Texas and Mexico. Thank you to the HEB Hunger Relief Program. All right, everybody join me in welcoming Mike Olson and Christina Olson to the show. How are y'all doing today?
Great. It's great to be with you.
Yeah, we're excited to be here.
Cool. I'm excited to talk to you. Mike, let's start with you. If you could, give a little background on, I can go on way back,
Okay.
where you grew up and how you got here.
Okay. I grew up in Utah, in Salt Lake City area. I went to the University of Utah and Arizona State for my master's degree. I'm in healthcare leadership, and that's what brought me here, was an opportunity to be a CEO of Citizens Medical Center here in town. And so it really was an exciting opportunity for us just to look at something unique and different from, it's been a long time in my career in an organization in the Utah Intermountain region area, and it just was an opportunity to do something different, and it just felt right to us to come here.
Nice. And Christine?
I grew up in Utah also. We weren't too far away. We didn't meet, though, until after high school, and we've moved around a little bit. We've been in, of course, Utah as where we started when we got married, and then Idaho and Arizona, and we've got 6 children, and they're all over the country.
Nice. Yes, ours too.
So we bring them back to Texas every once in a while so that they can get to know what a good area it is.
I love that. So your interaction, Mike, with the food bank isn't through the hospital. It's through your church service. If you could, explain what you do as it relates to the church.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. So I have a responsibility. I'm referred to as a stake president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in this region, in this area. So I have a regional responsibility for many of the congregations throughout much of the area that the food bank actually services. So it's really a unique opportunity for us to look how we can partner and work together, because this is such an important cause that people have what they need to get by and to have food to survive, and there's a lot of hard times out there right now, and so the food bank does a phenomenal job in making sure that people have what they need and distributing that out extremely well to those who are in need of some assistance and some help. And the church that we are part of is known for its humanitarian efforts. They do a lot with that, and so this was just an opportunity. We've worked closely with our church leadership to be able to make some pretty significant donations to the food bank to help assist them in their mission.
Yeah, and you're not talking about walking up there with a couple bags of groceries. You're talking 18-wheelers full of stuff.
That's right. Well, my wife actually helped to facilitate that, working with Robin there and trying to get that lined up. And yeah, brought in an 18-wheeler that was several pallets full of canned goods, dry goods, all kinds of things that they could use. In fact, we went over there and there was a whole aisleway lined up of all these pallets of food products that we were able to assist them with, that then they could break down and use in whatever way made the most sense for them. So,
I love that. And Christine, if you could let us know what your calling is in the church. And I mean, these are true callings. These are people who are out there volunteering. So when you do stuff like work with the food bank, that's second nature. So yeah, fill me in on what you do.
Okay, in the church, I am what's called a communications director. I also have a regional responsibility. And so I just try to coordinate the public's knowledge and understanding of our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but also part of my calling as a communications director is to try and facilitate humanitarian efforts wherever there's a need, in and out of the church. Mm-hmm. We're not looking to just service our members. We're looking to try to partner with people, other faiths, other organizations, to try and meet the needs of all of God's children, wherever they're at.
Yeah, as people, we've been called to help everybody, not just help our family or our group, right?
Exactly. If you're part of the community, then you need to be united in a common purpose, and that is to build and strengthen the community that you're in, and we feel very strongly about that. We are here to strengthen, serve, and help whatever communities we are a part of.
I love that.
Yeah, we're all God's children, and yeah, we may come from different backgrounds and faiths and everything else, but we are all supposed to look out for our neighbor. We believe that that's what Christ would want us to do, and we're looking for ways where we can help to facilitate that in whatever ways possible. And the food bank is one of those unique and wonderful avenues that we have to help partner to help make that happen.
Yeah, you mentioned the uniqueness of the food bank. That's one of the things that I fell in love with the food bank is that it isn't like a little fiefdom of I do this and you do that and you do that. We may overlap so we compete. No, they collaborate with everybody. I've never seen an organization as collaborative.
You know, something that I do some volunteer work. I volunteer at VCAM, or Victoria Christian Assistance Ministry, every day that I'm available. And so I get to see a lot of the products that are delivered from the food bank, and I get to see the difference that it makes in individuals' lives. When I see them come in, they can only come once a month, but that food box, and the majority of it is coming from the food bank, as well as some of the other businesses and things in the community that are supportive, but it makes a difference, and you can see it. You see how much people appreciate it, but also how much it's needed. More now than ever. I can't believe how much it has grown in the 3 or 4 years that I have been there. The number of clients that are in need is significantly increasing, and it seems daily. The need is great.
And I was just absolutely blown away with the facility there. When they had their open house to move into their new facility, as a community leader, I was invited to attend, and I went over there, and it's massive. It's an amazing facility with extreme great technology and organization and capabilities there, and all their staff are amazing. So they provide a large amount of food to a lot of people in our region, not just here locally, but you know elsewhere too. So it's very impressive what they are capable of doing, and it's just an honor for us to be part of that organization.
Yeah, and I tell you, I volunteered there a couple times, and I was so impressed with the organization and workflow. It is so organized. It's a well-oiled machine. I've never seen volunteer work so spelled out and easy to handle.
Yeah, we showed up when they were having that 18-wheeler delivered and watched them unload those pallets efficiently, line it all up, and then she took us around and helped us to see how they break that down into the individual boxes that they put together that then go out to various places. And they've got a whole production line of people who are just working hard and making sure that everybody has what they need. And it's amazing. It's an amazing organization, a great place.
Nice. And talk to me about the back end of how you go from the food bank doing their thing to the church connecting with them and an 18-wheeler showing up there. How did that happen?
So a lot of it, some of the groundwork was put in place before I actually had this calling. I was serving in a different capacity. And Maureen Money, who's part of our community, really did a lot of that groundwork. And as we go out and try to meet different nonprofits and organizations, we try to find out what their needs are, how can we help. And then we have a gentleman currently that is his job, Lars Nelson. He covers our regional geographic area as well as some other geographic areas. And we say, we have these needs. What can you do for us? And then he works with, our church is headquartered in Salt Lake City, Utah, and he works with the headquarters and communicates with them and sees what's available and makes arrangements to try and meet whatever needs we bring to their attention. Unfortunately, it's not unlimited,
right.
But we do manage our resources and things so that we can make a difference.
Yeah.
And Lars is amazing. He just lines it up and finds out what they need, and he finds out what they've got available, and then he just gets it organized to get everything's loaded onto an 18-wheeler and sends it down. And it shows up at their back dock, and they start unloading. So it's really that simple, and there's no money exchanged or anything like that. The church just makes this generous donation of goods and services. They have a whole organization that actually puts these products together to distribute throughout the probably worldwide, as I understand it, to various places where there might be a need, especially if there's a natural disaster or something like that happens. They'll send resources out to support and help.
Yeah, and if you could talk about that, the yellow vests, because I'm sure both of you have worn the yellow vest.
Helping hands.
Exactly. and the things like the peanut butter factory that a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, I'll just talk about the helping hands part of it. So Hurricane Harvey came through, and we had just whole teams of people that would go in, and there's a system we could go in and find out where there was a need for us to go serve. We organized people from our church. They would go out and fulfill that need, and then wear their yellow shirt or whatever to help identify who they are and that they're here representing the church out to support, help people cut trees, move whatever they need to do, clean things up. So we do that almost anywhere in the world when there's a major issue or need. It's something that's really impressive. And I'll let Chris talk about the peanut butter factory and some of the other things that she might want to say about that, but it's amazing.
So the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has a peanut butter factory in Houston, and it's the only one that we have, and it provides the peanut butter from the raw peanuts clear to the finished product, and it's sent worldwide. The church also has ranches, it has farms, it has canneries, it has mills, it has bakeries, all of these things where we provide food to meet people's needs. Almost everything that we send on the trucks to the food bank or to anywhere has been grown and processed and packaged by members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
They don't always know what they're going to get because the church, we are a worldwide church, and so there is a worldwide need, and they try to keep in reserve enough to meet catastrophes, to try and reach out and help with those things, as well as members of our congregations, and then as well as the communities. And so when they send a truck, they have done an analysis of, we have this much in reserve, this is what we have extra, let's get this out to whoever needs it. And so they don't always know what's coming, but it is always a very high quality, good product. And it's the best peanut butter.
Yeah, it is.
It is good.
And the church organizes various congregations and assigns them to go help and provide service, and they get on a production line. And they teach you what your duty and responsibilities are. One of the things that I like to do is the roaster. So you take these raw peanuts and you make sure they're fed into this big oven, and it roasts the peanuts. And then on the conveyor system takes them through the grinder, and they mix it, and then it drops it into the peanut butter jar, and somebody has to put the label on them. They put them in a box. It's just amazing. It's just fascinating to watch that happen. And in a shift, you'll produce thousands of bottles of peanut butter. And then as a little token of appreciation, everybody who comes gets to keep 1 jar of peanut butter. And it's awesome. It's amazing.
I love that. Yeah, that's the thing people might not realize. It's not some person sitting there with a mortar and pestle crunching peanuts.
No.
It's a factory. It's a full-on factory. And you mentioned farming. I think they're the largest landowner in Florida with all their cattle ranches. Yeah, I mean, they put a lot of effort into helping people.
From cattle, like you mentioned, there's fruit trees, there's orchards, there's gardens, there's potatoes, rice, and then there's even a mill where they grind all the wheat and everything from start to finish.
I remember when we dropped these things off, we opened up the box so we could kind of see what was inside, and Robin was there with us, and we were able to. She says, "I love how they're all just packaged in the right proportional sizes and easy for them to break down. They're all labeled and with exactly what they need, and they know where it came from." And
Robin and Francis were saying it's cute labeling. You can't look at it without being happy. It just makes you feel good.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. So we had a great time doing it, and we're really glad that we're in a position to be able to help out in whatever ways we can with the food bank, because it's a great organization.
Right. And before I let you go, if you could give where there are some locations for the church. I mean, the people in Victoria will know about the one on Ben Wilson, but again, you're responsible for a bigger region. So talk about the different locations around the region.
Okay, so the area that I have some responsibilities with includes Victoria, of course, the surrounding area, Port Lavaca, Wharton, Bay City, up to the Lake Jackson area, as well as the Brazoria area, and over to Angleton as well. So we cover a really wide area.
Everything
it takes
in between.
Everything in between. It's that whole area. It takes about 2.5 hours to get from one end to the other of it. But it's great. We enjoy it. There's a lot of wonderful people who are dedicated to this cause of helping one another and trying to strive to be like our Savior Jesus Christ and follow His example and do the things He would do to help other people who are in need. So we're grateful to be part of that in our roles and responsibilities.
And that's why it makes it easy to partner with the food bank.
Yeah.
Because they have that same mission. We trust that they are going to take what we give them and do whatever they can to help God's children with whatever their needs are. And it makes it very easy. Both, Robin is just amazing. Her heart is 100% invested in making a positive difference in individual lives as well as the communities that she services. It's amazing.
I love it, yeah. And there are no better hugs than a Robin hug.
That's true.
Well, Mike and Chris, I want to thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your story and for obviously all the work y'all do.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
It's our pleasure. It's good to be here with you, and anything we can do to help, we're glad to do it.